Hey y'all, happy Thursday. So in honor of Throwback Thursday, I'm going to be telling y'all this story about how one of my associates, who is a man, accidentally had sex with another man, okay? And yes, y'all heard me right. One of my male associates had sex with another man. So boom, let me set the play for y'all. It was 2016, 2017 in Chicago. One of my friends was on Instagram, just cruising, looking at, different women on there. He saw this girl that was real thick, real pretty, so he decided to hop in her DM. He gets into her DM and he sees that the feeling is mutual, and they talking a little, freaky deaky and whatnot. So he asks her if she wants to hang out. She agrees and she says, in fact, you should come over to my house. So he decides to take the subway from his neighborhood to hers. And as he's approaching her house, he sees a man running out of her house. However, he was just like, you know what? Maybe that's her cousin or brother on the way to work. He late or something. I'm still going because, she bad as hell. So he walks up to the porch, knocks on the door, and at first there's no answer. So then he's like, okay, like what's really going on? Let me, try again. So he knocks, rings the doorbell again. And finally, the door cracks open, but he doesn't see anybody. So he pushes the door open. When he pushes the door open, he yells out her name like, hey, so-and-so, are you there? And he hears someone say, come in. Now, mind y'all, it's pitch black in this house, okay? This is Chicago. Back in 2016, 2017, he walks in a pitch black house and wasn't greeted by anybody, okay? This person tells him, come on in and go over and sit on the couch. So he goes over and sits on the couch, y'all. Listen, as I'm telling this story, if I just chuckle, please forgive me. I'm trying to get this out without breaking down, okay? He goes over and sits on the couch, but he still doesn't see anybody. So eventually he yells out for her again, and he says this person, who is nothing like what they look like on Instagram, kind of shuffles over to him to the couch. And he's like, they're not the height, the weight, like the face, like it's just a pure catfish situation. Okay, so he's like, you know what? But he done came all the way over there. He done paid the subway fees to be able to come over there and see her. So, it is what it is. So she sits down on the couch or whatever. He starts feeling on her. She's like, no, don't you touch me. So then he's like, what? Chris tried to start feeling on a young lady. However, she told him to stop because his hands was cold. So then she asked him if he wanted his cucumber massaged with her mouth. And he said yes, very much so. He loved that. And she led him over to the bed where she performed the act. And then he finished. After that, she positioned herself on the bed and kind of just, face down, derriere up, and so since she was already positioned perfectly, exactly how and where he needed her, he entered her, and he was just saying that it felt amazing. It felt so good. He described it as he just felt like he was skating in it and dancing in it and sliding in it, gliding in it. Like, he was very animated when he talked about this. Like, that was just the best part. Like, when he went in, okay? So, something, he kept getting his voice in his head to reach around in the front. He said he kept getting his voice, like something just telling him to reach around in the front. So he was like, okay, I'm enjoying what I'm doing right now, but let me, just reach to the front just to see, what's there. So Chris reached around to the front, and to his surprise, the person that he had been having sex with that he thought was a woman turned out to be a man. he immediately pulled out, jumped up, and he was very confused. His first words were, "Are you good?" And when he said that, the man kind of flopped over aggressively and didn't say anything. He just continued to massage his cucumber right in Chris's face, like without saying anything, barely giving eye contact. And Chris was just, he was just shocked. Like he couldn't believe it. Like he couldn't believe all this time he had been having sex with a man. After, you know, the pictures and, you know, the stuff that happened on the couch.